Aloha, Rep. Justin Woodson. We are incredibly excited and proud to share that you are our 2022 legislative champion. You've been one of our most consistent partners in the legislature, and you have done an incredible job as the chair of the House Education Committee, really steering our education system through some incredibly difficult times with lots of competing priorities and lots of challenging issues facing our schools and families. But again, wanted to say thank you for all of your partnership this year.
Yeah, thank you, David. It's always a team effort, and I particularly appreciate Hawaii Kids Can. You folks are a great partner. We have a robust and very healthy relationship. And ultimately, I think over the years, we have had some positive impact on, just basically helping kids. That is, when you cut away all decoration, what it's about, it's helping kids. And I think we've done a lot of great work in a lot of areas. So thank you again for your partnership. And I look forward to working with you many, many years to come.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to focus on one of the bills that we partnered on together, which was a bill to support kids in career readiness programs who are attaining industry recognized credentials. The bill is pretty exciting in that it allocates around $2.6 million for this effort, which is kind of the first time the legislature has, provided appropriations to this kind of program. So we'd just love to kind of hear from you, why are you looking forward to this particular measure, moving ahead?
Yeah, that's a great bill. I mean, it's very forward thinking, and it's thinking, in my mind, the direction that we should be thinking in. And it's because ultimately it's about preparedness and what are we doing to position our kids here in Hawaii to take advantage of opportunities that we know are going to be a very high in terms of compensation, very high in terms of even just the wellness of the individual and potentially their families in the future. And so aligning marketplace needs through these credentials and other types of apparatus, that's going to be important for us in the future. And so we're starting that work now. And again, I look forward to working with Hawaii Kids Can, that we can continue on that very important work.
Absolutely. I think folks have talked a long time about the brain drain and the challenges that our local talented youth have in finding good local jobs and career fields where they can stay and, be connected with their families or raise families of their own. So I'm hoping that this initiative will really, kind of supplement some of the great efforts that are happening around the state through career academies and other programs, so that kids can graduate from any high school in Hawaii and have the background and the experiences to have one of those great local jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can look at some of the specific areas, like just looking in computer science, and the data shows us with a computer science credential, you can make over $100,000. So you can imagine if you have two people in a household making over $100,000, that is enough to support families. That's enough to ultimately be able to buy a home if you choose to do that, and it's enough to live comfortably and to stay here in Hawaii. And that's what we want. We want our local families to have opportunities to stay here and thrive.
Absolutely. Well, as we kind of close this conversation out, I know we're about to enter, I think what'll be the third school year since kind of the start of the COVID pandemic and all the disruption that came. And, folks very focused on learning loss and social emotional wellness. What do you see when you think about the next year or so and our schools, what they're facing and what the legislature might be able to do to help out?
Yeah, I mean, COVID obviously illuminated and exacerbated some of the challenges that we know that we had in the DOE system. The department already started to do some work on the wellness of the whole child, and that also means that social emotional aspect. And so the legislature continuing to provide funding as an example for making sure that the teachers and administrators and counselors are looking at the whole child, and that they're supported in doing that is going to be very important. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. learning loss that was also exacerbated through the pandemic. And there's going to have to be some concerted, sustained effort. We know the data says that per learning loss in general, or if there are students behind, it does in fact take several years for them to catch up. And so that's just something that we're going to have to most certainly keep our eye on. Um, I'm concerned with the significant amount of students that we lost entering into kindergarten. So where are those kids and how do we get them back into the system so they can learn and thrive and ultimately live successful lives to be able to support themselves and their families. So these are some issues that we're definitely going to have to take a look at. I'm also mindful of continuing to make adjustments to where we can ensure that our school system provides internationally competitive outcomes as it relates to our students. That credentialing piece is important. It's crucial to that type of work, and the legislature being involved in looking at ways in which we can work with the board, the department, organizations such as yourself to continue to move the ball forward and make sure that our kids are fully prepared to compete in the future.
Absolutely. Well, we are, heartened that you are in that chairmanship and you are supporting our schools, our teachers, and our families. So we look forward to continuing to work with you. And we know there's a lot to do, but we know that there are, plenty of great partners out there, and there are resources, both, state and federal, to deploy to support for these efforts. So again, mahalo to you, Rep. Woodson, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.